that time of the month again for the Farmville Spotlight, brought to you by North Street Press Club, located at 127 North Street in downtown Farmville. You can call them and order today at 434-392-9444. Today, joining us on the Farmville Spotlight, we have two very special guests from our community. We have Livia Gonzalez and Kelsey Hall. Guys, how are you doing today?
Doing great, thank you.
That's great to hear. Well, why don't we start by introducing Kelsey? Livia, do you want to introduce yourself, starting off?
My name's Livia Gonzalez, and my husband and I have been in Farmville about 6 years now.
Okay. And Kelsey, we'll start now with you.
My name is Kelsey Hall, and I'm Livia's creative director.
Okay, all right. Very nice. Well, I did want to get into Livia, your story a little bit, and it's true that you spent more than 25 years as a decorative artist, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
So what drew you into that world, do you think?
Oh, so I grew up on Long Island, and
Okay.
mostly on the beaches, and I had farms around me when I was growing up, and I went to Stony Brook for biology. And then I met somebody who was like drawing on walls, and I was like, oh my God, they paint you to do that? So as I was artistic, so that was like my dream, and within a year or two, I started going to school, and I just loved it because we were always doing something different, even when it was painful to do, like ceilings and stuff, it would be over soon enough. So it was always very challenging and satisfying too. And people were like, love to have you, at their house or restaurants and stuff, commercials.
Absolutely. What did you learn, do you think? What are some of the things you've learned in that over 25 years of decorative art? Do you think like patience or I'll let you. I'm sorry.
No.
Okay. Oh.
I'll be like, line. Yeah, definitely patience, planning, and how to like estimate like what's gonna happen. So, and also like trying to read people what they want and what they think they want, and how to make that even better, so that they love it.
Yeah.
So that it has our personal name on it, and it's their creation, but we just made it better.
Okay. All right. And when you left Long Island, was that a bit of a turning point for you?
Yeah, I was in New Jersey for a bit, and then I came home to Long Island to take care of my mom, and that's where we left. And we were going to go cross country to California, but we visited family and friends down the East Coast, and we came into Farmville, and I was so happy when my husband was like, what about staying here? So I love Farmville, and I really fell in love with the people around here.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Well, Kelsey, let's turn to you. So I believe you were homeschooled, and I wanted to ask you, how has that shaped your creative eye and how you see the world?
I think homeschooling has definitely helped with my creativity, and my mom is always encouraging me to try new things. And with that, I have definitely learned to explore a bunch of different hobbies, and I definitely have more than one.
Absolutely. People will describe you as mature, exceptionally mature. And how does that feel particularly? Do you feel older than you are?
I don't know. I definitely love hanging out with people, and honestly, I enjoy company in general. So I just feel like that's true. Yeah,
I think she's been exposed to a lot of different things, which is great. And I feel like homeschool kids overall have a lot of confidence.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right? They didn't have to necessarily get bullied besides their siblings.
Well, yes, which can be traumatic.
Yes.
But that's good. It's easy to shake that off when it's your family,
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Well, that's great. And what drew you into the creative field, if you don't mind me asking?
I've always liked art my whole life. It's always been a passion of mine, and I love being creative with my work, turning everything into its own personal, beautiful piece of art.
Yeah.
So
that is
I've
great.
just always loved art.
All right. Well, I did want to touch on what you guys just did in downtown Farmville, the sidewalk, if you guys don't mind. And by the way, I hope I'm not jumping around too much in this interview. It's just very much how my brain is wired. But you guys took on, I think you said 96 hours or around there?
It was like 98 hours
Wow.
in volunteer time. And Kelsey's my MVP. She did a tremendous amount of work. Starting off with the stencils. Remember we did that in the
Yes.
studio, and then just planning it out. And then we had other people kind of jump in a little bit here and there to help us. And it was a labor of love.
Yeah.
8 days. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
I thought it would take longer.
Sure. It is a very big project you guys
Yeah.
took on there, and it is impressive that it only took around 8 days to complete. That was very great. What inspired that? What sparked that?
Well, I'm on the board for one of the boards that I'm on is Farmville Downtown Partnership, and Emily Gant, EKG, had always admired in Lynchburg. There's the artist alley where they have like swirls of color.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, how about we do that, but something different. So I had seen something like that. Did we know it was going to work? No, but we talked everybody else into loving the idea, and then I feel like it was very successful.
Absolutely. No,
Yeah.
I'm excited. I still haven't checked it out, but I promise I will leave and walk over there here after we're done and check it out. I'm very excited. I've seen photos. From the photos, they look very cool, so you can only imagine what it really feels like and looks like in person.
We were just so surprised and really elated of the community coming by and encouraging us. Such nice words. And we found out that a lot of people came down that alley to take pictures for graduation, or Camp Mimi. Remember her? With the kids. So, and they were like, what are you doing next? Are you doing the walls? Or,
Yeah.
So that project took like 15 months from like concept to actual execution. Wow. So we wanted to do a couple of other locations. I have my eye on that half wall across from McAdoo's.
Yes.
I always say it wrong. McAdoo's.
I heard somebody once pronounce it as Monkadoos, which is I thought it was actually a kind of a classy take.
Yeah.
That would be very interesting. Is there any plans in the work right now on doing that, or is that just kind of an idea?
There's a concept, and the board loves it. And we haven't done the sample or anything, and I've been in touch with the owners of the wall, which is Den from Greenfront, and he's really encouraging about stuff like that. And the Walk to Campus, which is now Walk to Town. Is that it?
I heard something about that.
Yeah.
But I'm
so
not.
I haven't approached them officially yet with a proposal, but we're hoping it goes, and I'm hoping to get more volunteers.
Absolutely. Well, that would be great. And speaking of, your work with the downtown partnership, you also are involved with the Heart of Virginia Festival, the Central Virginia Arts.
Yes.
How do you manage your time? And how do you give yourself to all these different committees?
It started with one, and then it snowballs into another. I'm the president of the Central Virginia Arts now for 3 years, and I always say I was voted in unanimously, but I think like nobody else wanted the position. No, that's not true. But between like Paul Hoffman, I've been working like with some really great artists like Richard and Deborah McClintock, Marianne Dennison, Ursula Burgess, and Martha Lewis. And we all come together and we share our knowledge, and that's really been a great experience. So Paul and I were thinking about doing the art walk. So this this year it's going to be the third art walk coming up. So we're really excited and in hope that enhances the town experience.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I've been to the previous art walks that you guys kind of through, and they've been great. They've been really, really great. And that's put on by the Central Virginia Arts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much time and coordinating does that take to throw this event?
Well, we meet on a regular basis for the art walk committee and for the board, and I always say Paul is the puppet master because he makes everything like come together so easily. He really does. So I just show up and encourage everybody.
Absolutely.
So with that. And then the Heart of Virginia, which is coming up September 13th.
It is. Yeah.
It started, Martha Lewis, which is in Central Virginia Arts, and she was one of the original founders of the festival. And from what I understand, it was very concentrated in art, whether it was like poetry readings and
music
music and jugglers and
photography,
everything,
painting,
and spoken word. So I think we have that, but I would love to see more of that.
Yeah.
So I've been working this past year with Sue Sullivan, trying to bring that emphasis more into town. So I'm excited about that. It's growing.
Well, that's great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this year's Heart of Virginia Fest. I think it's going to be a great one, probably a big turnout. And I'm excited to check out the different booths. I went there last year, and they had a guy who carved, like, burned into wood. He burned like art into wood. It was very interesting, So they have a lot of different things. I did want to go back to Kelsey, and I apologize. I haven't really done a 2-person back-to-back interview, so if I don't want to take too much time, or so. Kelsey, you've helped shape and design, works with Livia. How is the teamwork between you guys? How does that go?
I absolutely love working with Livia. She's an amazing person to be with. She's definitely taught me a lot of new art techniques, and I love that.
I think she's great because she brings in like a fresh, young perspective on things. And a lot of times I ask you, like, what do you think we should do about this? And I expect her to kind of be like indecisive and kind of like maybe say a good point about each one, but she's like, she may do that, but she's like committed to a choice.
Yeah.
So, which I think is necessary to be a leader.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Whether you're right or wrong, you need to make a choice.
Yes, no, I totally agree. And you have a workshop coming up, Livia, or is that correct?
Yes.
Could we talk about that?
Yeah. So we're launching the Hidden Talent, and I'm anticipating the website is up. It's the hiddentalent201.com.
Okay.
But it needs to be refined a little bit. But starting next week, you'll be able to take the interest survey and ask questions as far as whatever you're interested in. So we would like to offer, we're going to start with workshops for homeschoolers first, and then high schoolers in the evening and on weekends, and then community workshops. But what I really want to create is like a community for artists.
Yes, absolutely.
To learn more about their branding and marketing and self-promotion, and have an area to explore different techniques.
Absolutely. I think it's difficult for artists to kind of market themselves, especially like, artists are very critical of their own work, so that probably doesn't help as well, having that, voice in your head being like, oh, is this even worth money? But so I think it is valuable, and those are very important tools to learn. So that is very, very exciting to hear. Where is this going to be held, if you don't mind me asking?
Good question. All right, so we are located in the cellar of 201 North Main Street.
Okay.
So you would know that building by the brew house. But it's kind of tricky to get to because the entrance is in the back, and then you have to go through the hallway and then find the stairs that go down. And then we have that location.
Okay.
So, but it's great because we can be a little loud. We have younger kids there, and it's perfectly located right in the middle of town.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is there any other projects that you guys have in the works right now? I know you were talking about the one next to McAdoo's, but is there any other ones that are, that you guys are keen to get to?
Well,
if you guys can discuss, I don't know if it's confidential, but
Well, one of the things that we'd like to offer is I've been in touch with Rachel Ivers from LCVA, and what we wanted, she was like, "Great, we can do an art ramble."
Yeah.
So I was calling it an art crawl because I never heard of art ramble, but there's a lot of people that are into it. Pam from Mainly Clay would love to do it. And I don't know if you know Amanda Goff.
I do, yes.
She's an incredible artist.
Very good.
She is so skilled, and she's a lovely person. And she's going to have her own studio on 2nd Street. So that's going to be coming up, and she's working on that now. So it'll be a nice little tour, where you can have a nosh and a drink and see some art.
That's very cool. That's very cool. So an art ramble, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of art crawl, not to get sidetracked, but where does that come from? Because I always called it an art crawl because that's what I heard. But like, it is confusing for people, I guess, who've never heard. Because I had a friend, they were like, "You mean an art walk?" And I was like, "No, it's an art crawl." And they were like, "What is it?" I was like, "It's like an art walk." Do you know where that came from by chance?
I don't
Just
know.
to clear it up, I guess I can Google it as well. But
I used to meet my brother in Manhattan.
sure.
And there would be buildings totally dedicated, and everybody would have their own studio.
Sure.
So then you would go in and talk to the artists, see their art, have some wine, and just keep going.
So you're kind of crawling up the streets.
Yeah, we
a
need
bit.
to have some dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But that was like one of our things. It was really nice.
Well, that's very cool. So what other ideas do you guys have for the community, art-wise? This is obviously, very exciting,
Yeah.
and especially in Farmville, which does feel like there's a concentrated amount of like an art scene in Farmville. So
See, you think so, right?
I believe so. Yeah, I do.
And I think it could be more.
I think it could be more, especially with like the growth of these, different places and
Yes.
different classes. Could definitely help. Yeah.
So I'm thinking our underlying theme would be like, besides like creativity and being able to express yourself, more or less to have like an entrepreneurial spirit about things, where kids could come in and also like figure out how they can market themselves, or make gifts or whatever, whether it's like tea towels or banners or whatever. I would love to have a resource where if they needed a banner, they
Sure.
can come in and one of the kids could take over and do it there.
And make one.
And do a mural, whether it's their bedroom, their house, or
Even
some
a
graffiti.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just something.
no graffiti.
How do you feel about graffiti? That's a great question. Do you guys consider graffiti art?
What do you think?
I think graffiti can be art in a way, but I definitely think it's its own style.
Yeah, that's fair. I am a big fan of graffiti. Especially when it grows. Like you see a little graffiti in one spot, and then the next day it kind of keeps expanding, which is very cool. That I love the idea of having a place where people can really learn to market themselves and find out their own like niche. I think that's a great and noble effort as well.
And it's a dream of mine to work with like the Innovation Hub,
Yeah.
like with the laser cutting or like the electronics and stuff. There's a couple things I have in mind.
3D printer, and
Yeah.
they have a lot of amazing.
So the
amazing
workshops
stuff.
that we were planning on are like self-paced. So if you had an idea that you wanted to work on, you can go in and you're not limited to 1 hour, 2 hours to do it, or you could do multiples. But you're basically calling the shots of what you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, and then there have been so many people that have like volunteered to do workshops or give a demonstration.
Mm-hmm.
So I've really been flabbergasted at the people that have like come out to volunteer.
Absolutely. No, that is incredible.
Yeah.
I did want to get back to the kind of the workspace. Do you think that would be something that you would like offer? I know you said kind of like start off with like homeschoolers and maybe offer it to high schoolers. Do you see it potentially being like a membership thing where like if somebody wanted to be like, oh, I want to kind of like paint in this like kind of painting environment, would they be able to?
Yes, it could be a membership, and they could maybe take a certain amount of workshops for that membership.
Sure.
I have had the luxury of having some time, so I've studied some business models.
Sure.
And also there's a space that we have available where we can break it down into several artist spaces, so that we have a community amongst ourselves to talk and get
Sure.
feedback, maybe have a meal or something someday. And also with the art ramble, I want to show like Central Virginia art
Obviously,
works
yeah.
and the people that have the studio there.
Absolutely.
So I'm offering that to artists too now.
Well, that is a great effort, and this is very exciting to hear. We do have to take a quick commercial break, and I do want to here soon at the top of the hour. But I do want to mention we are opening up our phone lines. If you have a question for Olivia or Kelsey, please call in. You can call in by calling the number 434-394-0924. That's the number to call into the Farmville Spotlight. Kelsey, how's it been for you, really embracing the art scene and, kind of learning as you go and, gaining those skills? How's it been for you?
I definitely have enjoyed expanding my art horizon, and I've learned a lot of new techniques, including like I've worked with oil paints and
Silver leaf.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And also paper mache. I really like that one. And I enjoy it so much.
Yeah. Do you have anybody that kind of inspires you, like maybe a famous painter or just a certain style that you really are able to connect to?
Well, I really enjoy painting landscapes, so mountain ranges, sunsets, stuff like that.
Okay, that's very nice. And how long have you been painting for, if you don't mind me asking?
Probably about, I don't know, I think my whole life I've loved arts and crafts.
Sure.
So, but when I was about 10 or 11, I got into painting a little bit more, and I've started experimenting with that a lot more.
Okay, very interesting. And have you taken on any solo projects for yourself? Any sort of like maybe somebody wanted something painted and you went ahead and took that on, or?
I have not had an experience with that yet,
Sure.
but at the Heart of Virginia, I have these mini canvases that are
Sure.
about like 2 inches wide and tall, and I've been painting a couple of those, and I'm going to sell them at the Heart of Virginia.
Okay, well that is very exciting. That's very cool. Are you guys going to be having a booth?
Yes.
Okay, together or like separate?
No, with the heart for the Hidden Talent 201.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, for the Heart of Virginia, and we're gonna have a booth for the at Longwood for the involvement and volunteer fair. That's
Okay.
it.
Well, that's exciting.
We got it out.
Yeah. Well, no, looking
So
forward
hopefully
to
we'll have some involvement with the students too.
that'd be very cool.
We had a mini intern this past summer.
How's that
It helped
been
out a
for
lot.
you? Or how was that?
That was good. We learned Canva. We learned Canva, and we did a lot on some social media
Very
posts
cool.
and stuff. Yeah.
It's always funny because, like, you go in to teach the intern, but sometimes you learn from the intern, vice versa, having interns around. So it's very nice. Okay, well, we do have to take that quick commercial break. So let me just say one more time, the Farmville Spotlight is brought to you by North Street Press Club in downtown Farmville. They are located at 127 North Street in downtown Farmville.
Craving great food and drinks in downtown Farmville? North Street Press Club is the place to be. Enjoy global grub and local vibes, whether you're dining in or relaxing on our patio. Good times are always on tap. Call us at 434-392-9444 for easy pickup or to discuss your catering needs. Let's make your next event delicious.
So good.
Visit North Street Press Club today, where food, drinks, and fun meet.
Once again, the Farmville Spotlight brought to you by North Street Press Club in downtown Farmville. You can call them today at 434-392-9444. And again, joining me today, we have Livia Gonzalez and Kelsey Hall in the studio from the Hidden Talent, which is a great kind of workshop environment. And so let me ask you guys, is there anything you guys are looking forward to doing in the future projects, other than, I think we kind of discussed like the potential idea of doing the thing next to McAdoo's, but
Yeah.
Was there any other kind of ideas you've had?
Well, we've been painting the window outside the door that faces Main Street, but everybody thinks it's the brew house.
Yeah.
That's okay. But it gives us a little street presence, which is good.
Absolutely. Yeah. And okay, well, that is good. And then the Heart of Virginia, obviously, we discussed is coming up, and you guys are going to have a booth, so that'll be very good.
And I've asked a couple of artist friends to participate in that as well. With Seth Brogan, he's a local artist, and he's a great watercolorist. Shorty Hall does a lot of acrylic and oil painting. Brian Toney, which you probably know from caricatures. He's always around. I want to thank Ash Langston for doing our logo, which mine looked like a second grader did it, and then she was like, "No, you should see like the black one that she did is like outstanding. It looks like so professional." Wow. Put us over the top. And then Emilio Salgado Garcia, he has helped us out too as well.
Well, that's great. I did want to go back to your life, Livia. Obviously, you come from Long Island, and I just wanted to ask you, compared to the Farmville scene, how are they different artistic wise? Like the artistic scene in Long Island versus Farmville.
All right. I think when
Is that a? Oh, no, I'll let you.
No.
I'm sorry. Okay.
I think when I was on Long Island, it was more like edgy, I want to say. But I don't really miss that. It was more like, a lot of things were more like shock value. And I'm comparing myself more to like Manhattan stuff. That's where you see like a heavier art scene. But I think, the paintings that I do, I call them like glimmer. Sure. Because it captures, it's like the opposite of triggering. It's supposed to give you like a peaceful, relaxed feeling.
Almost like a Bob Ross kind of style.
Yeah, you could say that. Okay. So I think there's a big difference there. And like I love Farmville. When I leave Farmville, I'm like, I can't wait to get back. So it's not the anxiety-inducing hustle and bustle of like New York and stuff.
Sure. Do you think from experiencing different art that like each own place has its own kind of culture, kind of like the difference between Manhattan, like that scene of art, and then Farmville, they kind of have like their own unique part. I don't know, like their own unique style, you can say. Is that fair?
I would say so. Okay. And when I was up north, it was like the highlight of the decorative art world. So we would do like a lot of gold leaf, like in the bathroom, on ceilings, custom stencils. Sure. A lot of reflective little glass beads I would embed into walls. So it was a lot more, I want to say avant-garde, because it was always like what's new. Like plasters and all that, and you don't see that here. No. Yeah. And actually, I had a friend in Pamplin that was taking wallpaper off, and I was like, people paid me good money to make the walls look like this. Not that it looked like glue on the wall, but more distressed. Sure. So with that in mind, I wanted to open up some workshops for furniture refinishing. Obviously, you can't bring anything big down, but you can get a concept or an idea of what you might want to change into. And we were talking about like doing journaling workshops and stuff, because we like making our own journals, and I thought that was really important to have. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that is great to hear. I did want to ask you if, like, let's say a young person is in Farmville and they're wanting to dabble with like painting, arts, etc. Like, what would your words of encouragement be to them? To not be afraid to explore, and I think you have to fail, 100 times until you achieve like something that you can appreciate, or even if you have a piece, you can say, I like this little 2-inch square over here. Sure. And then go off of that, and then just keep on trying. I want to encourage people too, because there's a lot of artists that cynical, maybe. Or pardon? A little cynical or negative. Oh no, I was going to say that that are here that are doing that are self-taught,
Oh yeah.
and also a lot of artists that I'm sorry to say, but like they're aging out,
Okay.
right? So they have so much knowledge to share. So I would invite them to come and create their own workshop or demo.
Yeah.
So
And share their knowledge of what
Yeah.
they've learned.
or if somebody wanted to do a class or something, we could sit down and is it going to be a 3-day class over several weeks, or is it going to be 9 weeks or whatever, and whatever they wanted to teach and put that out. So I want to be able to offer that to people as well.
Okay. Wow. That is very, very good. I like the sound of that. And I did want to ask you, do you just, I know you have a passion of expanding the art scene in Farmville, which there is certainly, an art creative concentrated space in Farmville. Like, there's a lot of creatives locally in this area. Would you ever think about expanding outside of Farmville? Or would you want to keep this more of a local expansion, you think?
Oh, so I feel that just trying to promote this area would be great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people on the fringe of Farmville that are really talented, and
Yeah.
that's who I would love to draw in. But there's, like in Appomattox, there's the Gallery of New Geneva, which is an amazing gallery. And they are doing classes also. And we have the Pamplin Art Show, which not many people know about. But little by little, I feel like there's more art pop-ups coming around. So, and I always feel like to succeed, I feel like we have to cross-promote and encourage and lift everybody up, right?
Absolutely.
Rising tide lifts all boats.
That's a great saying right there. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that wasn't my idea. It was Kennedy, I believe, right? JFK?
One of the old
Yeah.
classic presidents. Well, yeah, no, that is a great way to look at that. Let me ask you. I want to ask you both a question, and that is, if you could do any one project, let's say it would be your like magnum opus, the creme, the best of the best. What would that be for you, Kelsey? The one project that, like, if you could do, you'd be like, my life is complete. This is the thing that you really want the most.
I would say probably, I don't know, doing a big mural somewhere in Farmville that inspires people to be themselves and explore art in their perspective.
Yeah, that is nice. That is nice. Livia, do you have one? I know that's kind of a grand question, but I am interested.
Well, for whatever reason, I always end up challenging myself to do something that I haven't done before, and it's always a process. So whether it was painting small or painting big or painting street scenes. So right now I have in my mind a concept, and it's Manly Men of Farmville, where I've taken a series of some pictures and I want to put them together in a series. So I'm working on that.
Wow, that sounds like a very exciting project.
Yeah.
That's very good. Very good. So obviously you guys love arts. I think that's very obvious and easy to say. Do you guys have a favorite medium? I know Kelsey, you were talking about paper mache, I believe. Is that right? That you really enjoy? Is there one type of art, whether it's like oil or what have you, that is your like all-time favorites?
I probably like painting because painting can be so many different things, and it's such a wide range of things you can do. And I really love like oil and acrylic and painting on canvases and stuff like that.
Okay. Livia, do you have a favorite between oil, acrylic, or even other? There's like 100, I don't know how many different, but there's a lot of different styles of.
I want to say that Kelsey's selling herself short because she's really come a long way in the short time that we've had together. But also, somebody's contacted you about, we had done this like 6-foot flower at the studio, and somebody had contacted her about doing one for them.
Wow.
So I think little steps would be great for you.
Yeah.
And I like so many things, but I really like oil painting the best. Airbrush painting, I would like to get more experience with that, but I have some experience with that. And even the acrylic, but more like textures, or like it could be backgrounds of paintings, or, I mean, that goes back to my decorative painting days where, we put a texture, not a physical texture, but a visual texture all over the walls.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's cool because like with the different types of paints, you can create different effects and then, create different emotions for the viewer. I did want to ask you guys this one question. We actually had Amanda Gaw come into the studio and we did a interview and it was very good, but we had a caller call in with a very unique question. I thought it was a really great question. And he asked Amanda, like, as far as like, painters pricing their paintings, what gives a painting value? And I think he kind of, pulled an example of, who's to say that like a painting that's just like, let's say one stroke is like worth $100,000 versus like a painting with so much detail. Like what gives a painting value was his main question. And like, how do you price that? And I wanted to see what you guys thought about, art and value and like how those two translates.
What do you think?
Well, I think a painting can be very little but so meaningful to a person. And obviously time spent, because people can spend hours on a painting. So really, I think a big thing is the love they put into it. Does it mean something to them? Is this just a painting that caught their eye? So yeah, I really think that a painting is meaningful. And when it's meaningful, I do think it probably would go for more.
Piece of art that somebody really puts themselves into, like they really throw themselves at it kind of,
especially if they tell the story. If it's some long story and they tell it, it definitely makes you look at the picture in a whole different way.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I've never priced things by like square inch or anything. It's been more a skill level, and I can appreciate when people have skill, and I don't know, like if you challenge the person to think, whether it's visually or by technique or the story that it's telling, I think that is so valuable. So
yeah. No,
yeah, I there's a lot of art out there that's like so gimmicky that it's like, a banana taped to a wall. Like, I don't know, what does that speak to you?
Exactly. Or Andy Warhol, which I actually won't bring his name into this because I do like his paintings a lot, in his art, but like the can of soup, Campbell's a can of soup, like, I don't know, some people may see that and just be like, that's garbage, or, what have you. But I guess it does just depend on the buyer too. There, a certain aspect of what somebody's willing to pay for what speaks to them. So that's very interesting. Do you guys have anything that you guys want to promote or plug that you guys, be happy to share?
Well, I just want to give special thanks. I am
Sure.
so grateful for Anastasia Cyphers.
Yes.
Because I had met her at a luncheon, and she wanted to give back to the community and asked about Central Virginia arts and where we were displaying our art. And for now, and it was before in the past, and it is now that we're at Riverside Cafe. But that's going to be changing within the next year. But she gave me the opportunity. She said she always wanted to give back to the community, and this is basically how we created this concept of having like an art center, and that wouldn't be possible without her.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's incredible. I'm glad she was a big contributor to that cause of giving back to the community, which you guys are clearly doing with the hidden talents, I would say, and having such a making Farmville a more vibrant art scene than ever, which is really, really, really great.
I hope so.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming in again today. We really appreciate it. Was there anything else you guys would like to plug before we go ahead and go? Obviously, Heart of Virginia is coming up, and you guys will have a booth. So that is a very exciting thing. Anything planned for 2026, which is, contrary to popular belief, is approaching quite quickly. So is there any plans for
2026.
2026?
We haven't really thought of that so far.
Yeah.
We haven't put much thought into that, but right now we're just excited about being able to offer the classes. They're more like workshops.
Mm-hmm.
So starting next week, we'll be able to go onto the website and put in your information, and we'll see how like that. I'd like to put kids together so they can collaborate and learn off of each other as well.
Yeah.
So,
And what are the sizes of the groups were you thinking? Because I guess like if it's too big, you kind of lose focus, or you're not able to kind of like really help a student or somebody constant. So like do you guys have a limit of how big you would want a group or a workshop to be?
Well, the ages that we decided on is between 13 to 17 for now. And when I met Kelsey, I was doing a 4-H workshop on sewing with a friend of mine, Nancy Alexander, and I found that Kelsey was like the perfect age to like learn and like teach other kids. Some kids were a little younger and they were a little bit more distracted. So, and in that class we had 9 people, I think, 9 kids.
Wow.
And I felt like that was like a lot. So, and then I feel like when we do projects, we like spread out.
Yeah.
So, I'm hoping from 4 to 6 kids would be the ideal for workshop time. And
Sure.
Because they're all probably going to be working on something different. So
Exactly.
It would be in different areas.
I understand. Yeah. And then you would also offer like individual classes as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if need be, for sure.
Sure. It definitely would be needed. I went to Audrey Sullivan at Red Door 104 had a Paint Your Partner night. So I was like, oh, this is a great date night. Sweetie, do you want to come? So anyways, she actually painted me perfectly. Of course, that's my luck. And then I turned around and I just had this. I was scared of her reaction because, again, I'm not a painter by any means. I can't do it physically, and even if I took 100 classes, I would still and that's how I feel. Like I know it to be true. I don't have it in me, which I'm okay with. But I guess some people definitely need more coaching or more training with others. But that's great to offer those individual classes as well. So that's
definitely.
great.
And I think there's something to be said about a folksy art style. Where it isn't classically trained, So I think that has a lot of charm.
Yeah. What do you think about, abstract arts, in general? Do you have any thoughts on abstract art?
It took me a long time to appreciate it. And then, Ursula Burgess is a famous abstract artist. She's very well accomplished and award-winning, and she lives in town. And I took her class over at the LTVA through CVA, Central Virginia Arts, and I feel like she's really opened my eyes as to interpreting it and seeing objects in it, or just seeing the color patterns, or just being able to appreciate it in general.
Yeah.
So.
Can you yourself paint abstractly?
I think it's so hard.
I talked to when I talked to Amanda, she said that's the one thing that she couldn't really do is the abstract art because it is I would imagine more challenging than actually having some a guideline to go off of or a subject or a scene to paint.
I think we're constantly criticizing ourselves and judging ourselves. So abstract, it's so hard to do that, and not overcorrect.
Yeah, and when do you know it's finished?
Yeah.
That's another great question.
We haven't done that yet.
Yeah. Kelsey, have you dabbled with the abstract art yourself?
I have tried it a little bit. I do struggle with it though, because I'm like, oh, this should have on here, or oh, that kind of looks like this, and then I'll mess with it and it will turn into a regular painting. So I do struggle with like getting abstract art right, but in my version of abstract art being correct, but I really do want to explore that more.
Yeah. Is there any other kind of like genres of art, I guess you can say, that you would like to explore similar to abstract? Maybe like a portraits, like doing portraits.
I do want to look more into drawing like figures and portraits. That is an interest of mine. I'm not amazing at it, so I'm trying to like go out of my comfort zone and find different things to explore all the different ideas and get better at that.
Yeah, absolutely. Livia, this is kind of weird time to ask this question. Have you ever done a self-portrait?
Oh my God, it came out so awful. It was like, yeah, I have a freakishly large head.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I do. It's hard to get hats and stuff, but
I can't imagine.
it was horrible.
You did do a self-portrait then?
Yeah.
Really? Have you made it?
I was able to do one successfully, so I don't know.
Have you shown it to anybody, or is it a very personal piece, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think it was around the time I wasn't showing my art.
Okay,
Anyone.
so somewhere in your archives.
Yeah. But I love like when you paint something and you're not sure about it, or you walk away from it and then you come back and you're like, oh my God, it's beautiful. I love that. And sometimes you just need that separation.
Yeah.
And I've found out also that if you try and like, artists copy a lot, right? So if you try and copy a painting, you can learn so much by the colors that they chose, or the techniques that they use, how they lay the brushwork, or how they lay the paint down.
Yeah.
So if somebody didn't want to go to school or take classes, whatever, that's a couple of things that I would definitely recommend.
Sure. Kelsey, I'll ask you the same question. Have you ever done a self-portrait?
I haven't.
Okay.
Now that you bring that up, though, I'm gonna go home and try.
Yeah.
And we'll paint
That's
each
a
other.
Yeah, that's a very interesting subject, because I have never tried to paint myself, and if I did, it was like a sketch of my face that wasn't very good.
Sure.
Or I was like, oh, I don't like how this looks.
Sure.
Because I couldn't get the hair right, or I don't know. I definitely want to try that now, though.
Yeah, no, it's. I would imagine it's challenging, and it kind of actually brings on another question that I have. Is there a certain objects that are more difficult to paint, or for you guys personally, whether it could be people, buildings, animals, or like street signs? Is there just some things that are more challenging? They take more time, a lot more planning and detail to really nail, if that makes sense. Olivia, I'll start with you.
All right. Well, I know it's like some people don't like when you have, well, I don't know if you're classically trained or whatever, if you have people in your painting, because it kind of, I don't know, disrupts, and you're capturing a moment in time, but I like that. And I've painted several sites around Farmville that I really kind of like. I feel like they might be boring by themselves, but I kind of want to try and create an atmosphere where you'd be wanting to step into that spot. Whether it was a street corner or on Longwood. So,
yeah.
What was the question?
Oh no! Was there like difficult objects to paint when you're like just certain things in a painting that are harder? I feel
getting like the right proportion for people.
Yeah.
And their movement. I think that's harder.
Motion, if there is motion, or even like sitting down, I can imagine it would be difficult to paint. Okay, Kelsey, do you notice anything difficult to paint? Whether certain objects?
Probably people and their faces and bodies, because everyone has such beautiful and unique facial features, or just a way that they move that makes them them.
Individual and kinda,
Yes.
yeah.
So I feel like painting people is a very hard thing, especially capturing their mood or, you know, what it is about them that gives them their spark.
Yeah, I get that. Olivia,
is.
you had something?
I was gonna say Brian Toney is so exceptional at that, and I'm like, he's the only one that would ever let paint draw me because you know caricaturists are like accentuate your
100%,
your flaws.
yeah, exactly.
And then you're like, oh, you're laughing, but
Yeah.
but he just like brings out like your essence and like your smile, or I don't know. It's just like I look at his pictures and it's like I know what kind of person that was. You know, and I really that's like a talent I would love to
Cultivate.
improve.
Yeah. And that I can't imagine that is easy by any means to really get the essence of somebody on a canvas. It's got to take a lot of practice and a lot of determination, you know, to do it right. So, yeah. Well, do you know if he'll be there at the Heart of Virginia festival?
He usually has his own booth, whatever, where he draws.
Okay.
So, I believe so.
I might have to stop by and see what my essence looks like on the canvas then.
The aura. That's
All
what,
right.
that's what the kids are saying these days.
Yeah, the aura is a very popular word at the moment. I've been hearing that a lot. Well, again, Livia Gonzalez, Kelsey Hall, thank you guys so much for coming in today. We're looking forward to the Heart of Virginia Festival where we can stop by your booth. And is there any like final words you would like to say? Maybe if you could encourage a younger version of yourself, Livia, what would you say?
Well, I want to encourage anybody who's interested in any type of art to reach out to me, and we'll figure out like where you would fit in. Whether you don't have to be shy about not being good at anything, you know, or maybe you are kind of self-taught and have like a good foundation and you want to improve it in a certain way, but you're more comfortable with younger people or older people, or you know, you have something in mind already.
Sure.
So.
And Kelsey, do you have any words of encouragement, maybe even to a younger version of you?
Probably just to never dull your light to fit someone else. Always let your spark show through. And whether it's not a popular opinion or, you know, people might not like it, always do it for yourself.
Yeah, well, that is really good. Olivia, did you have
I was
something?
gonna say there's always gonna be somebody that likes it, and
Oh, yeah, for
you're
sure.
not, you don't paint for them, you paint for you, and I mean that's
And
how
just-
I feel I've been finding my tribe, as people say,
Yeah.
around here, which is like really great.
Absolutely.
I love the people around here.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in today. Once again, this has been the Farmville Spotlight brought to you by North Street Press Club in downtown Farmville. You can find them at 127 North Street in downtown Farmville. Thank you guys so much again for coming in today. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. All right.
Really appreciate it.
Have a good night. Bye.